Hi, I'm Gigi Stewart, known to those who follow my blog as Gluten-Free Gigi. Coming from a background as a neuroscience researcher, my approach is smart nutrition backed by science and cooking meals that nourish our bodies. Like a lot of you, I live with celiac disease, which means I had to learn to live and cook gluten-free. Who knew it would be this delicious? 5 years ago, I started glutenfreegigi.com, which then led to the birth of Food Solutions magazine. I love sharing my recipes and ideas with people all over the globe. Today, thanks to Ingles, I'm going to cook with you and share some great gluten-free recipes. Let's get going. Today, we're starting out at Ingles, getting the ingredients to make the best gluten-free banana bread. Here's what we need. 250 grams, or about 1 3/4 cups of King Arthur gluten-free multi-purpose flour blend, 1/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of iodized salt. 2 medium very ripe bananas mashed, 1/3 cup of Laura Lynn unsweetened applesauce, 1/4 cup of Laura Lynn butter melted and cooled slightly, and 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and if you like, you can add in a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips or chopped nuts. Remember, all this is on the website at ingles-markets.com, so you can print a list and take it with you or pull it up on your phone when you're at the store. Now let's get cooking. We have all our ingredients to make the best banana bread. So what we want to do first is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Lightly grease a loaf pan, and you can use a 9x5 or you can use an 8x4, whatever you have. And then we want to mix our dry ingredients. So what I have here is our King Arthur gluten-free multi-purpose flour, already in the bowl. And I want to add in our other dry ingredients, and we'll whisk these in. We've got our sugar, and we've got our salt, our baking powder, our baking soda. And we want to make sure we get those incorporated, and then we'll whisk these together so that we have a nice uniform dry mixture. And we'll set this aside and move over to our wet ingredients. So we'll start with our bananas. And we want to mash these. And you want to use really ripe bananas. We've cut the sugar in this recipe, so it's just a little bit healthier. And we'll go ahead and use really ripe bananas to enhance that sweetness in this bread. And you want to mash those up so that there are no big chunks left. Some pieces are okay, so that looks fantastic. And then it's time to add our wet ingredients. So we have our applesauce, and that's unsweetened. So that adds some moisture to the recipe and adds some natural sweetness. And then we have some melted butter, and I've melted this, but I've cooled it slightly because we don't want to cook the eggs when we put those in next. So we have a couple of eggs, and I've lightly beaten those, and just put those right inside. And we've got 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. So go ahead and splurge on that pure maple syrup. Laura Lynn makes a maple syrup, it's fantastic. And we'll use that to enhance the sweetness, and then a little vanilla extract. So we want to just stir this together. And once you get this stirred together, we'll go ahead and add our dry ingredients. And that looks great. So let's put the dry ingredients right in. And we'll set this aside and mix this together. And then my favorite part, that's where we add the chocolate chips. And you can add some chopped nuts if you like to, whatever you like. So about a 1/2 cup total. So if you want both, go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips and then a 1/4 cup of chopped nuts. So when we're baking and making baked goods like this banana bread with our gluten-free flour, there are some differences. And you may have seen recipes before you started baking gluten-free, and you heard that you shouldn't overmix muffins or quick breads or banana breads. That's not the case anymore. There's no gluten to worry about, so we can just go right ahead and stir this mixture, and you don't have to worry about that. And to me, that makes gluten-free baking just a little bit easier. So I've got some chocolate chips going in here, and I've got a few chopped pecans. You use what you like, and it'll be fantastic. So we'll stir this, and then we'll pour this batter into our lightly greased loaf pan, and we'll put it in the oven and bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes, and it will be delicious. We've got our batter in our pan. Now it's time to take this to the oven. We'll bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes and come back and have a look. We'll just take this over to the counter and we'll test for doneness. I have a nice long skewer here. You can use a toothpick if you like. Just put it right in here, and you just want to make sure there are no crumbs left on this. Clean as a whistle, looks great. So we want to let this cool for about 30 minutes. When it's completely cool, it'll be ready to slice and serve. Today, we're out of time, but I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the Ingles table. Remember, you can find this recipe, videos, photos, and more on the website at ingles-markets.com. Until next time, I'll see you online.